name of the program is Excursion. I'm Bradley Thunderbird Phoenix, your host. Our guest is Kathleen Flynn-Bisson, health educator, has a master's in community health from Adelphi University, and an alcoholism counselor certificate from Molloy College. She has been a health educator at the Stony Brook University Health Education Center since 1994. Her responsibilities include coordination of health education and promotion, health counseling, development and implementation of the Prevention Through the Arts program, co-instructor of the Peer Health Educator courses, and Health Educator Interns Supervisor. Kathleen, welcome to Excursion.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Now, I always ask this question, well, my guests, even on the radio and on television, and that is, Kathleen, where were you born and raised?
I was born in South Ozone Park, Queens, and I was raised on Long Island.
So you're a Long Islander.
I'm a Long Islander.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, you founded, and I was just talking to the students are here, you founded a group, and what is the name of that theater company?
Prevention Through the Arts.
Prevention Through the Arts, PTA.
PTA, exactly.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And how old is this organization?
The very first show that we did was December of 1995. And that was our first show, and from there we've been performing since. And it's a new cast, a new show, new stories every year. It's an actual course that's taught at Stony Brook.
Oh, it's an actual course,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So every year you get a whole new slew of students, or
Absolutely.
no?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Because it's a course, you can only take the course once. So it's a full year course. It's both fall and spring semesters. Then, as part of the course, they get all the training, the theatrical training, the substance education training, and then they write the show and perform the show. And the spring semester, we perform everywhere.
And who does the theatrical training? I'm curious.
I work with a co-instructor from the faculty department, Department of Theater Arts, Elizabeth Boysha.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you performed both on and off campus, and tell me some of the venues that you performed at.
Sure. When we started the program initially in 1995, the focus was the Stony Brook campus. It was really about educating our students. But what happened is the word got out, and more people were interested in it. So then we started doing local high schools, and then it grew, and we started doing conferences, state conferences, and then 2 years ago we did an international conference in Manhattan. And when we go do the conferences, what happens with that is that other school finds out about us. So we've done Hofstra, we've done New York Institute of Technology, Freeport High School, Baldwin High School, Syosset High School. So we've pretty much done it. But our main focus, we do many more shows on the campus itself, but we do go out into the community.
And what are the subjects that you address in your theatrical performances?
As I mentioned, the show does change every year because the stories change every year and the cast changes every year, but the basis of what the show is made from stays the same. It has to do with alcohol, like use, misuse, and abuse. It has to do with family alcoholism, sexual assault, date rape. Often it has to do with HIV/AIDS, because when college students are making choices about sexual activities, alcohol is involved in that, and that will lead to risk of contracting something. So, and it has to often do with anything that's related to substances and how it can affect a young adult.
Okay, I wanted to ask you something. In the intro, you mentioned, you gave me your bio, you mentioned that you're an alcoholism counselor, and what have you done with that?
Basically what had happened is when I was moving forward in my career, I got my master's in health, and trying to figure out which area was I going to go into nutrition, was I going to go into stress management or wellness, and I found myself always being drawn and pulled to helping people with substance issues. So I went back to Molloy College and I got the certificate, which means I have all the courses. I didn't go and do all the counseling hours, so I'm not a certified counselor because I don't want to be a counselor, I'm an educator. So I went and got all the courses to learn about substance, basically dependency. So that helps me when I'm educating students. Part of the training for the theater students in this class is they're trained about, substance addiction, and that allows me to do all of that training with them.
Okay. Now, Stony Brook, I've worked at State Civil Service. That's a big campus. So now, how do you address the students? Where do you go on the campus to address the students? That's what I want to know.
Pretty much what this show does, the Prevention Through the Arts is the name of the program. The title of the show is Swallow This, which means swallow this information before you swallow alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. That's what it means. So what that does is that we'll go into residence halls and do a show, and then we invite the audience to talk and have feedback with them, and it gets them talking about what they've seen. Most of the scenes in the show are negative consequences, because that's what people write about. They often don't write about the, happy, I'm just sitting down having a glass of wine or something with my friends. It winds up being something more negative. And then it's been around for so many years, and we perform weekly on campus, that the word gets out. Word gets out and people talk about it. I'm usually like the in-between person. Because I'm connected to this, I'll have someone come into my office and identify that they themselves might have a problem, or our family members. And they tend to start with me because I'm an educator. I'm not a counselor, so I'm not going to label them or tell them they have to. And then as I'm talking to them, I'll refer them to either the substance abuse counselor or one of the other counselors if it has to do with another clinical issue. So I'm a real information person. A lot of students start with me to gain more.
Who funds you? Are you funded?
The Student Health Service.
Okay.
The Student Health Service funds many programs, and the Health Education Center is part of the Student Health Service, just like there's doctors and nurses that are part of the Student Health Service. We're the preventive arm of the Student Health Service. So the Student Health Service pays for our bills.
Ah, that's very convenient. Very convenient.
Absolutely. Without the support of the Student Health Service, we wouldn't have been able to grow and reach out as much as we've been able to. They make it, I'm very happy there. It works.
Now, I'm thinking, you've performed?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, my background, what had happened with this program is I've done community theater. I'm an actress.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's been a few years since I've done anything. I've kind of taken a break. I had 3 kids in 5 years, so that took me away a little bit. But my love of theater and my love of acting, and then my combination of my schooling and health, I had gone to a conference and I saw a program similar to this, and I just loved the idea of real stories coming to life and theater being used as a way to educate. Came back to Stony Brook and went to the theater department and said, I really want to do this here at Stony Brook. How do we do it? So we worked out a few things, and it's grown over the years that it's an actual course. It's an upper division. It's called Special Topics in Theater. And it's a course at Stony Brook that I teach with a co-instructor from the theater department.
Okay. Now, have you all heard of Deb's Web?
Deb's Web? No.
Right. Debbie Stalker is the founder of Deb's Web. Okay. You can find that. I do not have the website's address or URL right now, but on that website they list theater companies, where they're performing, who's in the cast calls, everything. So I wanted to hook you up with that.
That'd be
but
great.
I assumed that you had known about Deb's Web.
The one thing with Deb's Web, is that community-based?
It's
Like, is it for the community?
Yes,
See,
it is.
one of the dilemmas that we have, and I hope that we continue to grow, our primary audience is Stony Brook students.
Oh.
That's where our budget, we get paid from the Student Health Service, so we're there to educate Stony Brook students. That's our primary, focus. Growing as big as we have gone off campus,
Right.
so that does happen. We're actually looking into possibly trying to have a campus performance group and then maybe an off-campus. And if that happens, that would be great. I have to turn down some off-campus bookings because they're college students taking classes, so they don't have as much flexibility to go out and perform all over. But we do go off in the spring semester, which for us is end of January to the beginning of May. We probably have about 15 off-campus performances, let alone the 15 we have on campus. We perform about 30 times just in the spring semester alone.
Now, you don't do anything over the summer?
No, because they're college students, they don't have classes.
Okay.
They're not in classes.
All right. Now, I want to encourage this group, the PTA. I want to encourage them to get involved with what I do best, and that's audio theater. Why do I say that? Because if they do a play or a skit and it's posted on a website, my website or any website, it's an international world audience. Okay, and Shakespeare said the world is the stage. Well, the website can be a stage, and anyone in the international community can access that. So that's one option for voice acting. And the other thing is CDs. CDs can go into places where the stage performers cannot.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I wanted to encourage this group. Now we're going to hear from Kathleen's group. It's the PTA, the Prevention Through the
The
Arts.
Swallow This cast.
Swallow This.
Yes.
Is that's their name, right? Swallow This.
That's the name of their yes, that's the name of the show, and this is the 2006-2007 cast. So this was last year's cast.
You brought me last year's cast?
I did. Because next year's cast hasn't done anything yet.
I'm kidding.
We get together in September, and we'll make a brand new show with a brand new cast.
Excellent. Well, okay. That's great. So what we want to do is see if we can get her students to perform with us, my group, the Montage Radio Theater. And I think we can do some things together because we've done some things on health-related issues. We did something on sick building syndrome.
Okay.
Now, that was brought to my attention by Dr. Ellen Kamai. Sick building syndrome, a lot of people are not aware, is that the vents, and I'm looking at the vents in this room, there's black soot around them.
Yes.
And we made a skit out of this. I wrote the skit. And sometimes squirrels and rats and mice defecate in the ventilation system, and that's blown all over the office. And a lot of people are wondering why they're sick at work. It's called sick building syndrome. So that's one of the skits I did, and that skit was like, what, 3 minutes long? It doesn't take long to do these skits. And we've done some other things, health related. And that's what I want to encourage Swallow This to do, is maybe they can do some audio theater. All right, well, we're going to hear from the group, Swallow This, right now. And Kathleen, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Being on excursion. All right, I think I should say, let me see. No, actually.
Very happy to be here. My name is Kathleen Flynn-Bisson. I'm one of the health educators over at Stony Brook University. And the group that you're going to see today is our alcohol, tobacco, and other drug education program, Prevention Through the Arts. They do a show on Stony Brook campus on a weekly basis that's based on real stories. Real stories of substance issues come to life. We collect stories from campus, then part of a class that we teach at Stony Brook, they come to life. So it's students teaching students based on what students have done. Very powerful. So sit back and relax, and we'll see a little bit of the 2006-2007 Swallow This production.
Action.
Yo, wake up, man. Come on, what are you doing? Yo, wake up. Yo, dude, last night was amazing, okay? It was the best. It was the best night, like, ever, okay? We gotta do this every week. Every week. Yo, the feathers? Oh, my God, ingenious. That was great.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Come on, I know you're messing around.
What's up with this
Yo,
place?
Yo, is there any beer left in there? That's awesome.
Oh, that's disgusting, man.
That's kind of gross. All right,
My head is pumping.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get out of here now.
What's going on?
You know what? Before I leave, I threw your phone somewhere, okay? Your girlfriend, she called like 800 times last night. I don't know why, but you'll be fine.
What?
Yeah, it's by the bed. I don't know. Forget it. See you later, buddy.
Wow. Hello? That's where she. Miranda, yeah, I got a bunch of missed calls from you. Call me back as soon as you get this. Alright, thanks. Why does this place look like that?
Hi, Jason. I was watching you through my binoculars, and I was waiting for you to wake up before I came over. I had a great time last night.
Who are you?
The feathers were ingenious.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to be Mrs. Well, whatever your last name is. I gotta go to class, but I love you. Bye.
I don't even know you. Get to class. Go to class. Go to class. This is an interesting day.
We need to talk.
What's going on? No, I gotta go to class. I can't do
Aren't
this
we friends?
Yeah, of course.
And don't you always say I'm the coolest RA in the building?
Yeah, sometimes, but you know, what's going on?
Would you mind telling me what's going on?
Honestly, that's what I want to know. I don't even know what is going on.
Have you seen our hallway? It's ruined. And what's with all the
I
feathers?
didn't do any of that.
You know, I don't even want to know what you're doing, okay? But you better hope that I don't get in trouble for this.
Go to class. Miranda, hi, it's Jason again. Can you call me back when you get this? You're not picking up.